All right, let's jump straight into a pretty wild what-if scenario today. We routinely look up at our night sky, and we're totally used to seeing that one familiar, quiet gray rock. But then you look at the gas giants, Jupiter, Uranus, and obviously Saturn, and they're sporting these absolutely massive, sweeping, cosmic halos. So for this explainer, we're going to dig into what would actually happen if our planet had its own set of rings. Are we talking a gorgeous celestial upgrade or an absolute planetary nightmare? Let's get into it.
It's easy to have this amazing visual expectation, right? You just picture yourself stepping outside at night, looking up and seeing these majestic arches of light soaring overhead. Honestly, it sounds like an incredible trade, swapping out our standard moon for a view straight out of a sci-fi movie. But before we dive into the beautiful, devastating reality of what a ringed Earth would actually look like today, we kind of have to rewind, like way back.
Because here's the thing, our planet actually has a hidden history. 4.5 billion years ago, Earth literally did have a planetary ring. When the planet was still young, this massive object slammed right into it, violently blasting shattered matter straight into our orbit. And over time, that giant ring of rocky debris coalesced. Gravity did its thing, clumped it all together, and formed the very moon we're looking at today. But what if we hit rewind and completely reverse that process?
To understand how that works, we really have to talk about the Roche limit. Think of this as an invisible boundary out in space. If an orbiting body crosses this line, the host planet's gravitational pull just becomes way too strong for the object to hold itself together. Because the planet is pulling harder on the side of the object that's closest to it, that unequal gravity literally shreds the smaller body to pieces. Every major celestial body has a Roche limit. You cross it, and it's total destruction.
Just to give you some context on the sheer power we're talking about here. Imagine a comet zipping through our solar system. Earth's gravity will completely tear apart an average-sized comet if it gets within about 18,000 kilometers of us. The Sun? It's so massive it shreds comets from roughly 1.3 million kilometers away. So the exact distance always shifts depending on the mass and density of whatever objects are involved. So, let's apply that exact same logic to our own orbital buddy. If we somehow drag the moon just a bit closer to Earth, right up to its specific Roche limit of about 9,500 kilometers, well, it wouldn't be gently circling us anymore. Earth's gravity would violently, and I mean instantly, shatter the moon into countless jagged pieces. And almost immediately, boom, we've got our rings. The crumbled, pulverized remains of the moon would rapidly fan out, forming these massive bands of debris right around Earth's equator. We are talking about a swath of rock roughly 5,000 kilometers wide. It would absolutely dominate our immediate orbit. But here's a wild contrast for you. Despite being that incredibly wide, 5,000 kilometers across, these planetary rings would actually be razor thin. They'd measure only about 9.5 kilometers thick. So try to picture a giant, cosmic vinyl record just spinning furiously around the middle of the Earth. Now, here is exactly where the whole sci-fi fantasy completely shatters. When we picture planetary rings, our brains immediately go to the shimmering beauty of Saturn. But unlike Saturn, Earth is way too close to the Sun to keep any of that orbital debris frozen. That's a crucial distinction. It means our rings wouldn't be made of glittering ice. They would be a blindingly bright nightmare made entirely of solid rock. Since all those immense rock rings would be constantly reflecting the Sun's rays back down at us, our sky would be brilliantly lit up 24/7. Those true dark nights we're used to? Totally gone in a lot of regions. And obviously, you'd never get to see that comforting gray moon again. It'd just be you staring up at a blinding ceiling of jagged debris. And honestly, losing our nighttime view is the absolute least of our problems. This would set off a horrifying domino effect across Earth's ecosystems. First off, the rings would instantly mess with the internal navigation systems of countless animals. Even worse, they'd physically block out the sun, casting these permanent freezing shadows over huge portions of the globe. Photosynthesis would plummet, which immediately threatens our oxygen supply, creating these deep, freezing zones where almost nothing could survive.
And as for modern human civilization? Yeah, prepare for a complete technological reset. All of our crucial communication satellites are parked right above the equator, meaning they'd suddenly find themselves dead center in a brutal cosmic rock storm. They would be obliterated in seconds. Global communications, GPS, the entire internet, gone. Our whole connected lifestyle would just instantly vanish. We'd literally have to figure out how to communicate from scratch all over again.
Basically, Earth's rocky new halo would become an orbital barbed wire fence. The sky would be completely choked with treacherous, hyperspeed debris totally grounding us. Trying to launch a rocket through that dense, chaotic minefield? Practically impossible. It would basically guarantee that space would never, ever be our final frontier.
Oh, and the danger doesn't even stay up in space. Much like the rings of Saturn, Earth's massive rock rings wouldn't be permanent. Over millions of years, atmospheric drag and gravity would slowly start to take their toll. The rocks would feel their age, lose their momentum, and violently start dropping from the sky as relentless, catastrophic meteor showers.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a thought. Imagine that somewhere out there, in some vast, infinite multiverse, there's an Earth with rings. Are there people right now trapped beneath their own orbital barbed wire fence, staring up at a blinding sky, just wondering what it might be like to have a simple, quiet moon? Honestly, it kind of makes you appreciate that single, peaceful rock hovering in our night sky just a little bit more, doesn't it?